So the chapter is 13, Torture and Persecution. The acceptance of Islam by Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh had a significant effect on the handful of Muslims of Makkah who till now had to observe secrecy in the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their spirits and courage had risen to such an extent that they risked going out of Darul Arqam to preach Islam. The Quraysh tried to bribe Rasulullah to forego Islam in exchange for gifts of wealth or anything he would like, but they failed to persuade him to agree to anything that would be harmful to Islam. With Sayyidina Umar radiallahu an and Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu an now fully united into the fold of Islam, the Quraysh turned to torture and persecution of the lowest degree of the most brutal kind. Okay, so when Hazrat Umar radiallahu anh accept Islam, we did last time that Umar radiallahu anh was planning to go to kill Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but when he came to know that his sister accept Islam, so he went there to beat her sister, but he realized that the sister is the sister is now Muslim. So he said, okay, you recite some ayah, and then when she recited some ayahs of Quran, then Hazrat Umar radiallahu anh became a Muslim. Okay, so that was the story which we did last time. But as we also discussed, that Hazrat Umar is a very brave person. So when he embraced Islam, everyone was very happy and they were shouting Allahu Akbar because he was a very strong person. So basically what happened, that Islam start flourishing, Islam start extending, and the people who were just hiding in Darul Arqam for preaching Islam, they now start thinking that okay, we can go out and we can pray. The Quraysh tried to give money to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They said we will give you wealth, we will give you so many things, but they fail to convince Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when they fail to convince Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then they start torturing other people. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anh, Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu anh, they were very strong. They were very strong Muslim. The Quraysh turned, the torture, and they start giving torture to the other people. So the next story is about the tortures they were giving to other people. Sayyidina Bilal radiallahu anh, the slave of Umayyah bin Khalaf, was laid flat on his back on hot sand. So Hazrat Bilal radiallahu anh was one of the slaves, and the master, the owner name was Umayyah bin Khalaf. So basically Umayyah bin Khalaf was Umayyah bin Khalaf was the owner of Bilal radiallahu anh, and how he tortured him, and why they give torture to these people. They were giving torture to these people because they accept Islam. So when Hazrat Bilal accept Islam, they push Bilal radiallahu anh on a hot sand and ask him to lay back, and then the hot heavy stone was placed on his chest, and he was beaten while his hands were tied behind his back. So they start beating him and tie his hand that he cannot resist. He could not resist when someone is beating him. So this much bad they were with Hazrat Bilal radiallahu anh. On the other hand, Hazrat Usman radiallahu anh, the story of Usman radiallahu anh was that he was a very rich person, but Banu Umayyah tribe was tied him with ropes by his ankle and beat him and tortured. When Hazrat Usman radiallahu anh is the third caliph, when he accepted Islam, so they tie him and they start beating him, they start torturing him. Sayyidina Zubair bin al-Awwam radiallahu an was rolled in a mat and forced to inhale smoke until he suffocated. And you know why this all torture they were bearing? Because they accept Islam, and non-Muslims doesn't want that they keep they stay Muslim. So they want to beat them. They were torturing them, so they leave Islam and they start following our religion. But the Muslims were very strong. Sayyidina Zubair bin Awam radiallahu anh was rolled in a mat and forced to inhale smoke, and he feels suffocated. But they never leave Islam. Sayyidina Abu Zar Ghafari, one more Sahaba, belonged to Ghaffar tribe, Medina. His tribe name was he was from the tribe of Medina, and he was feeling suffocated. On hearing of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he traveled all the way from Medina to meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they traveled from Medina to meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. On their very first meeting, Sayyidina Abu Dhar radiallahu anh accepted Islam, and with joy of Islam in his heart. So, Abu Zar Ghafari, how they were treating them. They, on hearing of Hazrat Abu Zar Ghafari, when he heard Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is there, he went to meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In his first meeting, he accepted Islam. Sayyidina Abu Zar Ghafari accepted Islam, and he was very happy. And he thought, now I will go to Khane Kaaba and I will recite the kalima there and some ayats of Quran in a very clear, loud voice. But what happened when Quraysh, when he went there, when he was reading in front of Kaaba, so he immediately sat upon him and beat him unconscious. They beat Hazrat Abu Zar Ghafari this much that he became unconscious. But what happened? There was one more person, Sayyidina Abbas radiallahu anh. Hazrat Abbas radiallahu anh was not a Muslim at that time. So Hazrat Abbas radiallahu anh, when saw that people are beating, so what they did, they said, why you guys are beating that person? And he said, oh, he become Muslim. So they said, okay, don't beat him, and I'm taking full responsibility of this person, that he will not give you any kind of hard time, just leave him. And because of Hazrat Abu Zar Ghafari, he became safe. Like, because of Hazrat Ibn Abbas radiallahu anh, he became safe. So they saved Sayyidina Abu Zar Ghafari. When he took the responsibility, then they left him, and he became safe. He returned to his home and more determined Muslim in spite the torture. He was tortured, but he became more confident. He feel like, okay, I will try to be a more good Muslim, inshallah. Sayyidina Ammar radiallahu anh, his father Sayyidina Yasir radiallahu anh, and his mother Sayyidina Umayyah radiallahu anh had embraced Islam. Abu Jahl killed Sayyidina Sumayya radiallahu anha with a sharp spear in such a shameful manner that there is no parallel of such torture in history. Abu Jahl also took beastly delight in beating a slave lady, Sayyidina Zarina radiallahu anha, in such a way that she became totally blind. So what you are reading here, Sayyidina Ammar radiallahu anh, his father Sayyidina Yasir radiallahu anh, and mother Sayyidina Sumayya radiallahu anh, the entire whole family, when they accept Islam, they killed. And just the son was left, Sayyidina Ammar was left. Abu Jahl killed Sayyidina Sumayya radiallahu anh. Abu Jahl, he was an enemy of Islam. He killed Sumayya radiallahu anh with a sharp spear in such a shameful manner that there is no parallel of such torture in history. He killed her in a very bad way. Abu Jahl also bestly delighted in beating a slave lady. Sayyidina Zarina radiallahu anh was beaten in such a way that she became totally blind. Sayyidina Zarina radiallahu anh, she suffered this much torture that she became blind. Some helpless Muslim like Sayyidina Kabab bin Arith radiallahu anh was tied and pushed into a flaming fire. They burned the fire and they start burning the people. They start burning Arith radiallahu anh. So This was the story and this was the torture of the Muslim, like when they accept Islam. So we all should be very, very, very strong when we say we are Muslim. Otherwise, because we are living in a very easy era, right? Very easy time. Nobody is at the door. Nobody is asking why you are Muslim and start beating us. But at the time of Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, whenever anybody highlighted, oh, I am a Muslim, it was very hard for them to show others that we are Muslim. People start beating them, people start torturing them, people start giving hard time to them. And they said, because they cannot accept you are Muslim. But Alhamdulillah, we should say Alhamdulillah that we are Muslim and we are living in a place or in a time that this kind of hardship we are not facing. So we should always make dua. Oh Allah, we don't never test us, because that this test was very, 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 very hard for all the Muslims, right? So always make dua. Oh Allah, don't test us, because we we are not in position that we can pass the test. So oh Allah, give us an easy life. Like don't ever put us in these kind of situations. So inshallah, if you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will start asking the questions just to make sure what you guys understood. So, is it easy? Is it clear to all of you?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Since the beginning of the Islam, Muslim preached openly. When Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was talking about Islam, were they were allowed to talk openly that they are Muslim? Yes or no?
No.
No, they were not allowed to say it openly. Whenever they say openly, what they do?
Like like say really bravely that they're Muslim.
They start beating them, they start torturing them. Sarah and Maween, okay, I want to listen all the answers from all of you. Okay, so keep unmute your mic and then inshallah answer me. Darul Arqam was used as Islamic learning center. Basically, Darul Arqam was a place which was used as Islamic center. Is it right? True or false?
True.
True, because Darul Arqam was the name of one Sahabi, and Darul Arqam means the house of Arqam. House of Arqam was actually, was using, because that was a hiding place for Muslims. They sit there, they talked there about Islam. So that was a place, that was Islamic center. Okay, bribes were offered to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to give up Islam. What is it, true or false?
True.
It's because they want to give bribe to Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and they want him to stop, talking about Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. But they were failed. Then the second step, they planned that okay, let's start torturing other people. When we will torture them, then it will be easy, and they will leave Islam. But Muslim faith were very strong. They didn't leave Islam because of this. Okay, the Quraysh used only one kind of torture. Is
No.
it true or
No.
false?
No.
What kind of
False.
torture they were giving?
But they like hit them, but they burned them.
And Sarah,
They beat them up.
they beat them up. Maween,
They like hit them and all that.
huh?
They use like they got sticks and hit them.
They got no. What you learn in the chapter?
Sorry, can you say that again? I can't hear you.
What you learn in the chapter? Like what kind of torture they were giving to them?
Like they were beating up the people.
Beating up the people and
Burning them.
huh?
Like putting them in fire.
You learn so many things. Look here.
Yeah, they burned them with like rocks. So
You learn about Sayyidina Bilal radiallahu and that they lay him down on a hot sand, right? You learn about Usman radiallahu and he was tied with a rope and his uncle was beaten. You learn about
That
You learn about Sayyidina Zubair bin Awam. He was rolled up in a mat and forced to inhale the smoke and he feels suffocated. You learn about Abu Zar Ghafari that when he accept Islam, he meet Nabi Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he accept Islam, he went to the Kaaba and when he was reading loud the kalima, people start beating him and he become unconscious. So other person come and save his life. You learn about Sayyidina Ammar radiallahu an, Sayyidina Sumayya radiallahu an was killed, right? His father Yasir and Sumayya, they were killed. And who killed them? Abu Jahal. Abu Jahal killed them. And you learn about Zanira radiallahu anha, that she became blind when they were torturing. And you learn about Sayyidina Kabab bin Arith radiallahu an, that he pushed in a flaming fire. Okay, so alhamdulillah, you learn so many kind of tortures. Okay, now pick one, Mawin, and tell me quickly.
They first they killed them and then they put them in fire too, and they also made the people go blind.
Very good. And Sayyidina Bilal radiallahu anh was slave.
Yes.
Yes, he was a slave. And what kind of torture he was having at that time? They were laying him down on a hot sand.
Hot sand.
Hot sand. Very good. They were laying him down on a hot sand. Okay. What did you learn about Sayyidina Abbas radiallahu anh?
That he was like the only Muslim left.
No. Hazrat Abbas radiallahu anh saved the life of Abu Zar Ghafari when he saw that people are torturing him. So he said, I am taking the responsibility of this person. Don't beat him, right?
Yes.
What about Sayyidina Bilal radiallahu anh?
That he was a slave. He was a slave and he got burned in hot sand.
Very good. He was a slave and they were dragging him on a hot sand. And he put a stone on the top and tie his hands so he cannot move. What about Zanira radiallahu anha?
She got totally blind.
She was totally blind. Sayyidina Usman radiallahu anh. He was very rich person and his uncle was torturing him, right? He was beaten and his uncle was giving so many tortures. What about Sayyidina Zubair bin Al-Awwam radiallahu anh?
He was saved.
No.
No, that was Sayyidina Abbas.
He was not saved. Look here. He was killed. Sayyidina Ammar. Yeah, he was saved. Sayyidina Ammar was saved. Very good. Just let me make sure. No. Sayyidina Zubair bin Al-Awwam. He was not saved. What kind of torture he was having?
He was rolled and he was made to inhale the smoke.
They were forcing him to inhale the smoke.
He was rolled up.
And he was feeling suffocated, okay? Okay, alhamdulillah. So let me see if any other question is left. Yeah, okay, alhamdulillah. So alhamdulillah, we will keep it till here. And let me know that if I'll change the time to, you are coming 4:30, right? So rather than 4:30, if we start the class at 4, is it okay?
No.
4:15?
No, that's a bit too early for me and my mom. Yeah.
Okay. Then 4:30. Okay, let me check because you know
We could do it at 4:20.
I just want you guys to show up 15 minutes early. Is it not possible for you guys?
Not really.
I
No.
could probably.
Okay, all right. Then inshallah come at 4:30 sharp so we can finish till 5 inshallah. 5:05 because Maghrib is at 5 so I want to finish till 5, okay? But try to be on time inshallah, okay?
Okay.
Okay, inshallah. So read dua subhanallahi wa bihamdihi.
Subhanallah wa bihamdi.
بحمده
Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك
Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta.
نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت
Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.
نستغفرك ونتوب إليك
Subhana rabbika
سبحان ربك
rabbil izzati
رب العزة
amma yasifun.
عما يصفون
Wa salamun alal mursaleen.
وسلام على المرسلين
Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله
Allah
وبركاته.
Hafiz.
الله حافظ.
And pray Maghrib, okay?
Okay.